Here we are. I'm with Ginny Iwanek Beam, and she's in Micanopy. And I just thought it'd be interesting to talk to her because she has an exciting, interesting story to tell about her meditation and how it helped her. So you were telling me you had an experience with Graves' disease. So
Yes.
What is Graves' disease?
Graves' disease is hyperthyroidism. So hyper, not low, but high. And with that comes along, your whole body speeds up. The thyroid controls your entire body. So with Graves' disease, my count of my thyroid, for years I'd been exhausted and tired and kept telling doctor after doctor. Nobody, when they checked the thyroid, they'd say the thyroid doesn't show up. Nobody went any further. When I saw Tenley Noon, a female doctor, she listened. And I said, one more time, I said, I'm so tired. Something's wrong. So when they dug deeper and did a further test, mine was almost 800, which I should have been dead. So it goes up so high that your entire body speeds up. Every part of you is sped up, including your heart rate and pounding. You have a pulsating.
That sounds like that would make you hyper, and you would
Yes,
be
out of control, agitated,
agitated all the time.
jumpy,
Yeah.
can't sleep. The biggest thing, this is crazy, the biggest thing, and some of them didn't know about it, your bowels go out of control. We're talking 20 movements a day,
Whoa.
at least. Everything in your body is out of control. And that's what I was going through. But nobody believed that that's what I was having. Even though I've had Graves' disease for 5 years, none of the professionals believed me.
So that's weird. So how did you discover that you had that?
Well, basically, I Googled it and read about it, which is pitiful, but that's the way it was. This is 5 different doctors, at least.
Yeah.
And this doesn't last just boom, boom. I got it 5 years ago, and this was something that happened, but my numbers, they take your numbers for your blood work. My numbers were normal. So they don't believe you. They say, oh, but your numbers were fine. But that was 3 weeks ago. How do you know what they're doing right now? So with that in mind, I was on my own at home. I had styes, little sores all around my eyes, and under eyes, they were bulging out with these sores. And the pain and just looking at them. And
wow, that doesn't sound good.
they were like, then on top of that, the heart rate was pounding. So it culminated, this went on for weeks. And nobody would believe that it was thyroid because my numbers were okay. That's what's so frustrating. So anybody out there with that kind of problem, don't give up.
Yeah.
So I was here on my own to get to the meditation. I'm trying to eat and sleep and survive. My husband works, so I'm home alone. And this was no picnic. So you're here, you can't sleep because you're pounding, your whole body is pulsating, pounding. And the pulse was going up to 105 and further. Then your blood pressure, the top number goes high, and the bottom number goes low. Mine was exhibiting all these traits. So what did they tell me? They'd say, go to see a heart doctor, not even a cardiologist, a heart doctor. Now, I'm going to say this, that people look at me, and I think people have an opinion of somebody by what they look like, and that's not fair.
No, that you cannot judge a book by its cover.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is what happened, I think, with 5 different doctors, but I will also say COVID has been here all this time, and I will forgive people because of it. Everybody's been maxed out.
Yeah.
So I went through this on my own. The only thing I knew to do was to meditate, to try to slow down everything, including myself, because I didn't want to call anybody. I didn't want to call an ambulance. I didn't know what I was going through this particular time. It went on and on and on, but the spiking, it came to a peak. And this is what happened. So my blood pressure was up to 155 and rising, the top number. The bottom number was 63, which was frightening. My pulse was going 105 and higher. All this was accelerating, and I'm seeing these numbers and saying, oh my God, what do I do? I had no idea what to do.
No.
So I started breathing. Okay, if you can get into the meditative breathing, it isn't easy. You have to, sometimes it takes me an hour to get there, so to speak. And what I do is, I take a deep breath in through the nose. And when I breathe in, I make my stomach go out. So I'm breathing like a baby.
Let me stop you for a moment there now. Where did you learn about this, and why were you interested in meditation?
Well, I did this on my own, in that when I was pregnant and I had my first child, it was the Lamaze classes that taught you deep breathing to help with the pain of the labor.
Okay.
So what the deep breathing really does, and in this case it did, it basically distracts you. It doesn't take the pain away, but it distracts you so you can stay right there and just breathe like you're supposed to. And the contractions, you breathe when the contraction starts way up. I had a fast, hard labor, so mine were in the 90s. They went way high, and then they drop down, and it stops.
So you remembered that?
Oh, yes.
And then so you did that while you had the disease, the Graves',
Well,
while you had all the symptoms going on?
Well, I had the symptoms. Well, I was born sickly. I've just medically had a rough life. I look healthy, which is part of the problem, but that's because I refuse to look like I feel, seriously. So basically, the whole brunt of all of this is, as I feel unwell, I have learned to adapt, and I did this through the whole pandemic. I've been home alone, and I've had this disease the whole time while I was home. But to take a rest in the afternoon, I lay down, and I do all this, but I start with the breathing. My mind will go away. I make it come back. I get back to my breathing. You have to concentrate even on the breath into the nose. If you're just randomly thinking, oh, I'm breathing, no, you have to go through each step and realize it. Feel it coming in, feel it go absolutely, your stomach goes out, hold it a couple seconds, let it go back down. But you're feeling and imagining, you're seeing this whole process with your stomach going up and inflated like a ball and then going down.
So are you visualizing your breath? Or what?
Everything.
Everything?
Everything.
The energy, the breath, the air,
the movement.
your body. Do you visualize your body?
I visualize my body, and when you get to the right spot, you feel weightless. I literally feel like I'm elevated, and I'm laying there, but I feel everything, how my fingertips feel like they're flowing, my legs, everything. I go from my toes and keep breathing the whole time, but also feel my body, everything that's happening, including the air, the movement, everything. I put it all together, and before you know it, you have my blood pressure was going down. I could see my pulse rate leveling out, but the blood pressure went the top number going down. The pulse rate slowed down to 73, and I knew something had happened, that I was making progress. So therefore, I continued doing that breathing.
Wow, that's amazing. That's great.
And it wasn't the end, boom,
Yeah.
but it got me through the worst of it till I was able to then get on more medicine for the thyroid that dropped the thyroid's hyperness down slower.
So are you still doing that now, every day?
I do it every day.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't do without it.
Well, I know meditation is great because I do it myself, and it calms me so much that I just become very relaxed. Sometimes
Yes.
as I'm doing meditation, I just fall asleep. I can't.
Yes, I do too. It's like you're
resist it. Yeah.
in and out of sleep. Well, this is my experience.
Yeah.
I feel as though I'm thinking of things, but I'm not. I'm so, it's like you can't tell the difference between sleeping or awake, but you are so quiet.
Yeah. It's the yin and the yang.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Right. So the excitement and the sleepiness, you bring it back into the middle.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
And-
similar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's great.
It's amazing, but everybody, if anybody's interested,
Yeah.
it's easy to learn the concept.
So when you're
But
breathing
practice.
in, so when you're breathing
Mhm.
in your case, and you're breathing in and you feel everything going down into
Mhm.
your lower belly, and then do you breathe out your mouth or your
Mhm.
nose?
I keep my mouth closed,
Uh-huh.
and in Lamaze they said to open your mouth, but
Right.
I didn't. I guess I did it in labor, but this way, it's more relaxing, I think, towards sleep, which I tend to need a lot
Right.
of. So, yes, when I get the deep breath in, I pause for a moment,
And
and
then
you let it out very slowly, but follow it.
Right.
Follow it from your chest, feel your abdomen up, down, all the way down. But your mouth is closed. But then when you stop, you can take a little breath if you want, or take another big deep breath again. And you look for all those signs of it coming down. First your stomach will go out, and then you push it on up to your chest. So that's your last breath is out of there. And if you could practice the breathing.
Good. It's very exciting, very interesting, I should say. Thank you very much, Jenny.
You're welcome.